Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Anjum Aleem from Springfields School, Masabtank, biology teacher for class 10. Already we have completed in our revision lesson number 1, 2 and 3. Today we will start with the lesson number 4, excretion. As I told you before, you have to start learning the answers from now itself so that you will be prepared for your upcoming pre-final exams. Now, lesson number 4 I will be doing in 2 videos. First video I will focus on the long questions. Then in my next video you can learn the short answers. First question is, what is excretion? Actually it is asked as what is the difference between the excretion and the secretion. It is there in the tabular form in my PDF notes. You can learn from there or you can learn from this video. Excretion is the term coined for all the biological processes involved in separation and removal of waste or non-useful products from body. It is the removal of the waste material outside the body. It is passive in nature. Humans excrete materials such as tears, urine, carbon dioxide and sweat. Water, nitrogenous compounds like ammonia, urea, uric acid, bile pigment, excess salt, etc. are also excreted. Excretion in plant is done through root, bark and leaves. Then what is secretion? Secretion is the movement of material from one point to another point in living beings. It is active in nature. Secretion includes the enzymes, hormones and saliva. Secretion occurs in plants in the form of latex, resins, gums, etc. Now we will see what is human excretory system. That is, you will learn about the human excretory system. Actually, human excretory system consists of a pair of bean-shaped kidneys, as you can see here, and two long tubes which are called as the ureters, which opens into a bladder, sac-like structure, bladder, urinary bladder, which opens to the exterior by the urethra, by the opening called as the urethra. There are a pair of adrenal glands present above the kidney, which is not shown in this slide, but you can see in my PDF. And you can also see that the right kidney is little bit above, because this is because of the presence of liver. Is it the right side or the left side? Right kidney is below because of the presence of liver and the left kidney is above. Okay. So learn to practice this diagram. Of course, the renal artery and the renal vein enters and exits into the kidneys. Learn this diagram. I will just give a brief description to you. Human excretory system consists of a pair of bean-shaped kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. Kidneys are present in the abdominal cavity on dorsal side, one on each side of the backbone. The size of the kidney is 10 cm in length and 5 to 6 cm in breadth and 4 cm in thickness. Each kidney is convex on the outer side and concave on the inner side. Renal artery enters, renal vein exits from the ureters, and the ureter enters in a fissure called the hilus. Once again, this diagram is very important. It is called as the internal structure of kidney, or they can ask you draw the longitudinal section of kidney, LS of kidney. Then you must be able to draw this. Children, can you observe this? There is a opening which is called as the opening region, which is called as the pelvis, where actually kidney is divided into two portions. The outer portion is called as the cortex. Can you see the cortex? And the inner part is called as the medulla. In the medulla we find the medullary pyramids, and they are joined to each other by the calyx. Medullary pyramids are having the thread-like structures which are called as the nephron. So each kidney is made up of the nephrons, millions of nephrons. So I will also teach you, we will learn about the structure and function of nephron in the coming slides. Of course, renal artery and renal vein are present, and the ureter is present in the hilus region. practice this diagram. I will send you another video based on the drawing, how to draw the structures of lesson 4. Coming to the structure of nephron, what do you observe here in this slide? Of course, there is one afferent arteriole and also there is efferent arteriole, which is not labeled. The arrow is drawn but it is not labeled, that is efferent arteriole. So the afferent arteriole enters into the cup-shaped structures which is called as the Bowman's capsule, and it exits as the efferent arteriole and it forms a network which is called as the glomerulus. Network of the fine capillaries is called as the glomerulus. So the Bowman's capsule is also known as the glomerular capsule. Actually, the nephron is divided into two parts, glomerular capsule and the renal tubule. Renal tubule means the rest of the part, what you observe in the coiled things. Now these coiled parts are divided into three, that is the distal convoluted tubule. First is the proximal convoluted tubule, the first portion of the glomerular capsule where it ends. The first portion is known as the proximal convoluted tubule. Then you have these U-shaped structures which is called as the loop of nephron. Loop of Henle it is called, this U-shaped structure, which ends into the distal convoluted tubule, which opens into the collecting duct. So I will also make you learn about the function of the nephron. It helps in the urine formation, in the removal of the waste materials from the blood. We will learn in the mechanism of the urine formation. This practice, you have to practice this diagram. I will send you the video how to draw this diagram. What network you observe here is known as the peritubular capillaries. The network is there, no, red color on the U tube, and the PCT is proximal convoluted tubule. DCT is distal convoluted tubule. Whatever network of capillary you see is called as the peritubular capillary network. See, it's there at the bottom. So the description is like this. Nephron or the uriniferous tubule is structural and the functional unit of excretory system. Each kidney is made up of 1.3 to 1.8 millions of nephrons. Each nephron has basically two parts, Malpighian tubule and the renal tubule. As I told you, Malpighian tubule is again divided into two parts consisting of a cup-shaped broader end called the Bowman's capsule and a network of capillaries called as the glomerulus. Glomerulus develop from afferent arteriole and give rise to efferent arteriole. Glomerulus is lined up by single layer of cells called as the podocytes. Now let us see the renal tubule. We have seen the Malpighian tubule. Now renal tubule has three parts, proximal convoluted tubule, U-shaped loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule opens into the collecting tubule, collecting duct. Collecting tubes forms the pyramids and calyces which opens into the pelvis. Pelvis leads into the ureters and ureters open into the bladder and bladder opens to the exterior through the urethra. Don't get confused with ureter and the uterus. Uterus is present in the females in the reproductive part. Uterus. Ureter are the long tubes. What are the substances present in blood? Glucose, protein, albumin, urea, uric acid, sodium, potassium, chloride ions are present in blood. What are the substances present in urine? Urine contains 96% of water, 2.5% of organic substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine, water-soluble vitamins, hormones and oxalates. Urine also contains 1.5% of inorganic salts like sodium, chloride, phosphate, sulfate, magnesium, calcium, iodine. Urine is acidic in the beginning where pH is 6 but on standing becomes alkaline due to the decomposition of urea to form ammonia. Another question can be asked in the exam. Write the mechanism of the urine formation, that is the steps in the urine formation. There are 4 steps basically: glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, concentration of urine or formation of hypertonic urine. Glomerular filtration: blood flows inside the glomerulus under the influence of pressure and ultrafiltration occurs. Tubular reabsorption: the peritubular capillaries around the PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule, reabsorbs all the useful components, primary urine such as glucose, amino acids, potassium, calcium, sodium chloride and 75% of water. So these are getting reabsorbed back into the tubule from the blood. What is tubular secretion? It is the secretion of the waste products by the blood capillaries into the urinary tubule. It removes all the waste products from the blood like urea, uric acid, creatinine, and sodium, hydrogen, potassium ions into the distal convoluted tubule. Then what is the last step? Concentration of urine. 75% of water content is reabsorbed in the PCT and 10% of water passes out of filtrate through the osmosis in the loop of Henle. Further concentration of urine takes place in the collecting tubule in the presence of a hormone called as the vasopressin. This hormone is very important. In the absence of this hormone, diluted urine is produced which may cause the diabetes insipidus. You can see here glomerular filtration taking place in the glomerulus, tubular reabsorption taking place in the PCT, tubular secretion taking place in the DCT, and the concentration of urine is taking place in the collecting tubule. I hope you all understood the concept. My only request is to start learning the answers, and you should cover one lesson in 1 week time so that you are prepared for your upcoming pre-finals. I wish you all good luck for your preparation and thank you very much for watching this video.